Guys, all right, so obviously I am sitting in the car right now. I took my daughter to work today, and the minute that we got there, her shift was cut, and so my plan was to drop her off and then go home, film some stuff for the week, and like have the house to myself so that I could do that. And that obviously didn't happen because her shift was cut. So here we are in the car. I just parked. I have a few stories to tell you guys, but I wanted to do a chatty video anyway, so I figured let's just talk here for a moment, and then that's all. That's it, so that I don't have to figure out where to film from when I get upstairs. Okay, so first thing is first, my name is Bram. If you're new here, I'm actually going to change my intro a little bit. The truth is that, and this video is actually going to go into it, but we're changing the intro. I am Bram. I talk a lot about fashion and lifestyle, and if you're interested in that stuff, then I would love it if you would hit subscribe. So things are changing a little bit. I have been sort of, I don't know, this video might be all over the place, so I'm warning you now, but I'm sort of like, I feel like I've hit kind of a wall, like with what to talk about and what is like engaging for you guys, you know? So I love talking about fashion. We're going to still talk about fashion. I love talking about luxury. We're still going to talk about luxury. But I feel like, you know, we talk about shopping, we talk about all that stuff. And I think that like, we're going to talk about all that stuff, but I feel like the way that I want this channel to go is going to be more focused on like lifestyle. And yeah. So let me talk about where this comes from. I started watching YouTube for like, listen, I've been into bags for like 26 years, right? Before I found out that there was a luxury community on YouTube, I was constantly on like the Purse forum, right? Or wherever I could find people who shared in the same interests and wanted to talk about luxury bags and whatever. So I was constantly like, for the last 26 years, trying to figure out where can I go to talk about these things, because you know, everybody in like real life, not everybody is into the same things as we are, right? So anyway, for years and years and years while I was watching luxury YouTube, I was wanting to do I was always wanting to have my own channel, have my, you know, do Instagram, do TikTok, all of that stuff. TikTok obviously came later, but you know what I mean? So it was something that I was very interested in for a long time that I wanted to do, but I wasn't comfortable, and it took a long time for me to kind of come out of my shell and decide that I wanted to do this, and I wanted to like open up my life and myself to all of the people out there, right? And honestly, I feel like my channel has been a success up until now, or like through now. I'm not saying that this is the end of anything, but I felt like it's been a success. It grew pretty quickly, and I think just because I had some followers on Instagram first that kind of came over here. So initially it grew pretty quickly, but then it feels like it has sort of been a little bit of a struggle in the past, like, I don't know, 6 months or so, to kind of get new people subscribed and whatever. It's been like a little bit of like a long, arduous process, in my opinion. You know that I just hit 3,000, which is amazing, and I also just hit actually I think it was the end of September of 24 when I actually uploaded my first video. So we also just hit like 1 year, a little over 1 year on YouTube. So anyway, all in all, it has been a fun ride. It has, you know, it's been something, again, that I had wanted to do for a long time. And so I'm definitely glad that I finally got up the courage to do it, because, you know, you see the finished video, you see the edited version, but along the way, like, you sort of have to teach yourself how to show up and all of these things. Like, there's really no manual that tells you like what to do, how to do it. So it's been a learning lesson for sure. It's been fun, and it's not going anywhere. Like, I'm still into it. But I just feel like maybe the focus needs to change a little bit. So coming on here initially, and all I ever watched initially on YouTube was always like fashion content, but mainly luxury content. Like, that is the world that I have been in for a very long time and wanted to talk about. However, my timing apparently hasn't been incredible, because the minute that I get here, now luxury is dead to a certain degree, right? So this is like a conversation to have. We've talked about this a few times. Is luxury dead? What do you guys think? I think, so I made a video about this before. Do I think luxury is dead? Yeah, I kind of think that a little bit. Okay, so let me explain. Last time I made this video about luxury being dead, I was like, I don't think luxury is dead. I think that it might be at this point. I have to be honest. Do I think that these brands and these houses are going to continue? Yes. I don't think the growth is going to be as explosive over the next, 2 decades as it has been for the last 2 decades. I think that we are definitely cooling down. I think, and I think that obviously there is many reasons for it. The cost of living is super high. People don't have jobs. Like, we're just in a state at the moment, like worldwide, where I don't think we've ever really been before. Obviously, the last really hard time, that we had recession-wise and whatever was the Great Recession of 2008. But I feel like the outlook even back then was a little bit different than it is now. I feel like now, because so many things are changing and so quickly, people have, millions of jobs have been lost to AI, and we're just having, there's just a, we don't have to get into all this, but there's just been such a downturn in terms of prosperity and I think hope for people. Back in 2008, we didn't know as much. Social media wasn't everywhere. TikTok didn't exist. And yeah, we had a recession and I was caught up in that as well. So I definitely felt the pain on that one, but not the same way. The cost of living wasn't crazy. You could still get a job. AI wasn't in charge of filtering out, job applicants. Like, it just feels like there's one mountain in front of another at this point. Like, it's just so hard to get ahead. And there's so many, like, roadblocks in the way now. And I don't think that we ever felt that in the same way in previous times of, like, economic issues, So all of that to say that I think that people are definitely less interested in luxury and watching people talk about what they have and what they want and what they can afford. So, my thoughts are always like, I hear a lot of like other pages, like, luxury channels, and creators talk about like, this is escapism. I don't know if I so much agree. So I think for certain people watching luxury, and unboxings and whatever, they're fun. I love them, but I do understand at some point, and I agree that there are days where, if I had a bad day or I had, something happen with business or, whatever, then I'm like, I don't want to watch that shit. Not that I am necessarily jealous of anybody else and what they have, although, yeah, I'm sure there's a few people that I'm like, shit, I wish I had that or whatever. But, I think that in the past, people have turned to luxury YouTube and luxury videos, 2008, for example. Yeah, it was a rough time, okay? However, I don't know, a Never Full was like, actually Never Full didn't even come out yet, but we're talking about bags were still in the range of being, it was aspirational, right? You had a lot of aspirational shoppers out there who were very interested in purchasing their first flat bag, their first Chanel flap, or their first artsy, or their first speedy, and then a little later their I don't remember what year did Never Full come out, 07 or 11, I don't remember. Anyway, either one, you had people who were like doing their research on the bag because they just graduated college and they just got a new job, or they were waiting on their bonus and then they were going to treat themselves to this thing. But now these things are so, the cost, like the salaries haven't gone up at all, but these bags have, like 100x in price. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like the people who flocked to YouTube and were excited to watch it because they knew that in their future they were going to get their hands on something and they were planning for it, that is not so much the case anymore. Number one, Gen Z is now coming out of, they are the new adults, right? They are the next generation of luxury shoppers or whatever, and they're not as interested, right? Number one, and they are kind of, I know that we don't want to admit it as millennials, but they are the ones that kind of set the tone for what is cool now, because we are getting old. And that is how it works, right? We were once the cool kids, now they are. And they don't appreciate, or not even appreciate, I don't want to say that, but they don't think of luxury as the way that millennials did. We definitely, millennials and Gen X really, we aspire to certain things, and they're totally a different generation. So I think that, it's just different. And I think that there's so many more problems that seem so much heavier in the world now than there was 15, 20 years ago when we were, at that point in life, and even 10 years ago, like on YouTube. that it's just not the same anymore, and people aren't interested in seeing what other people have when they can't pay rent, when they had to move back in with their parents because they literally can't get a job, when they, phone is cut off, car is repossessed. I mean, I'm talking about like severe cases, but I don't, like, this is normal stuff now because the cost of everything since, 2020 has gone through the freaking roof, and it's so hard to support yourself now. You know what I'm saying? It's so hard to have a family, to take care of little kids, to have extra money to spend on these luxuries, and there are times that, like, I watch unboxings, and I watch, a lot of times now, honestly, that I watch unboxings and I hear people and how, I know it's their channel or whatever, but sometimes it just feels completely tone deaf. And I know, like, obviously, if I'm not interested, I don't need to watch your channel or whatever. But, a lot of times it's like on days when I'm like, my son's, college tuition is well into the six figures. You know what I'm saying? And at some point that's going to have to be paid. And I don't want to set him up in the world with debt. My daughter's about to graduate and she's going to go to college, or maybe she's not. I don't know. But the point is that my bills are huge. And so, and my worries are huge, honestly. And so these little things that we talk about, it's escapism. Yes, it's escapism. However, sometimes it just feels like people are kind of like rubbing your face in it, right? And I think, like, if I feel that way and I'm in the community and I love this stuff, right? I think that so many people have turned that corner and they feel the same way. And they don't want to hear it, right? And that's why views on a lot of these like luxury videos are absolutely down, 100%. I always kind of kick myself because, like, when I was deep into the buying, when things were really good a few years ago, I should have started my YouTube channel then, because I probably would have like a ton of subscribers now, because all you would have seen was unboxing, and that's what used to get people. But now that same energy doesn't get people the same way. We are tired of entitled influencers and creators who just get handed things. We are tired of seeing people like overconsume. I know that we're at the point where, like, we're more into like the underconsumption and whatever. And you know what the truth is that I agree to a certain extent. I definitely agree. I feel gross having too many clothes or having too many of one thing now. I do, too many luxury bags. I don't know if that exists, but also my tastes have changed in terms of luxury, where I am, whereas once upon a time it was all brand new from store. Now I just want to search, the secondhand market and get a good deal and add like these iconic vintage items to my collection. You guys know that if you've been here before. But like, I just think that everything surrounding luxury has changed. I think that luxury is dead to a certain degree because none of these brands are going to come back. We know too much now. We know how much the book tote costs to make and how much you pay your people. We know that Chanel stuff falls apart. We know that, there's videos everywhere, Miu Miu stuff. Like, there's always somebody on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, these videos going viral about people spending these crazy amounts on these hauls, and then the crap just falling apart right then and there, right? And so these are things that we all are connected now, and these brands, there's no coming back, in my opinion, from the idea that your stuff is not worth the amount that you're charging for it. And nothing is going to drop. I mean, maybe at some point it'll catch up, but I just feel like for the moment, luxury does feel kind of dead. Some of these new collections that are coming out, I'm super excited for them. I'm actually, like, I'm loving I'm loving new Chanel. I know that that's not everybody is. I'm loving the new Gucci stuff. But while I'm loving it and I'm excited, 10 years ago, I would be loving it, 20 years ago, and drooling and waiting for things to hit the store so I could buy them. Now, I am just watching, because I know that I am not spending $15,000 on a crumpled up Chanel bag. I'm not going to do that. I know, like, there are so many things that I have purchased before that I would just never buy again, even if I love those things, It just doesn't make any sense, any financial sense, any sense, because ultimately things don't hold their value, things fall apart, the quality is not what it used to be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? So while I do think there's hope for fashion, because I do see things changing, I don't know if there's hope for luxury. I am not going to change in the sense that we are still going to talk about vintage bags here. We're still going to talk about fashion here. But I just wanted to kind of know where you guys were on this as well, and kind of tell you my thoughts, because when I committed to doing YouTube a year ago, when I started, right, my thoughts were, okay, I'm going to put out 3 videos a week. We're going to talk about fashion, mainly luxury, sometimes shopping, sometimes Amazon finds, et cetera, et cetera. In the past few months, you guys know, if you've been here, that I just went back to work. We have some businesses, things like that. Things are not great, honestly. And so my you know, hopefully they'll get better soon. But like, I have a lot of stress like anybody else, and I try to show up here and be happy because I do think like this is a happy place. We don't need to talk about all that stuff, but you know, the truth is it's really hard. I have to be honest, it's really hard to think about new subjects centering around luxury and fashion and shopping when you don't have an unlimited budget to do those things, right? So I see a lot of creators blow up or have blown up in the past because of all of the unboxings. And then once they stop that, it kind of slows down, right? So, and I think I never want to be the channel that, or the person that buys things just to talk about it and unbox it and never uses it or returns it or whatever. You know, if I can't be, I hate the word authentic, but if I can't be real and I can't be authentic with you guys, like I don't want to be here, you know? The whole point is to come on here and to find people who are, you know, in the same kind of headspace as myself, right? So over the last year or two, a lot of creators that I have watched over the years, we know have sold other stuff, you know, sold other bags, decided they hated luxury, go to like no spend year, all that stuff. I'm not doing anything that drastic. However, I do think that I would like to talk about other things with you guys, and I would like some feedback if that is what you'd like to see or what would you like to see from this channel. But I definitely would. I know like I started a little series that only had one episode, but like where we were doing like, you know, cheaper things in Miami, or like we were gonna like travel and find things, whatever. Obviously I'm back to work now. Certain things can't happen the same way, but I think, you know, the content that I like to watch at the moment is, I think, a little bit more thoughtful. I still like fashion, but I'm more drawn to people like, at the moment, like Caroline Gray or like Brooklyn Betty, or there's certain accounts that, or like people that I've been watching lately that aren't huge creators, that are kind of in that middle ground, that are really more about personal style and fashion versus name brand stuff. Like, yeah, they have name brand stuff, whatever, but it's not just like unboxing, like, let me show you this bag. It's like, how am I gonna wear it? What am I gonna do? It's more so like vlogs, like weekly vlogs, where we're going, what we're doing, where we're shopping, what we're eating, things like that. And that's the stuff that I've actually been looking forward to watch more so than, now listen, if you come on and you have a cool unboxing, I'm the first one. Like, I have my people that I watch, but I've just been more drawn when I'm finding newer creators at this point, newer channels, or new channels from, you know, from me, not necessarily new in general, but I'm more drawn to people who are talking about all the things versus just the fashion stuff. And for me, I'm 100% more comfortable sitting down and having a conversation versus like vlogging, just because I don't feel like I have the right equipment and whatever. But I think I'm going to get out of that and try to get out of the car while I'm vlogging and actually do things with you guys. And maybe instead of 3 videos a week, we'll do, you know, one definite, like one weekly vlog and one regular video, something like that. But I would love to know from you guys, like, what are you watching? What are you loving? Do you think luxury is dead? I just feel like I don't want to pigeonhole myself into this topic on YouTube and only be talking about this topic when there's so many more things that I'm interested in. And, you know, while this channel is, yes, it is a place, like it is a hobby for me. Of course, it is a hobby where we talk about fun things and the things that I like and the things that obviously a lot of people in my real life aren't interested in. You know, that I think that's why a lot of us end up here, right? But I also think that, you know, if I ever would like this channel to become something, because I would, like, who doesn't want this channel, like, you know, their channel to become something, to like blow up or whatever. I don't want to pigeonhole myself into a topic as niche as luxury fashion, specifically handbags, right? Now, handbags, I don't know why I call them handbags when I get on YouTube. I feel like maybe for the SEO, but I call them bags, right? Luxury bags, designer bags have always been my thing, and they will always be my thing. It will always be my first love in terms of fashion, 100%. However, I don't want to pigeonhole myself into this little small box that I can't get out of. And then, you know, if I do blow up, I'm only looked at as the person that talks about bags and has like nothing else going on. So I'm into fashion as a whole. You know, I do like the get readies with me most mornings, right? I think that that's the way that I want to go with it. I'd rather have conversations with you guys about all the things, including vintage, you know, vintage and new fashion and whatever. But again, what I've been really enjoying watching is vlogs from creators that are in the fashion space but talk about all the things. And I'm kind of been turned off with like luxury lifestyle. Like, I don't really have a luxury lifestyle, honestly, guys. Like, yeah, I buy my little bags and stuff like that, but I've never lived in a, you know, like, like my life isn't aesthetic. It is real. You know, I don't know. Like I'm not a foodie. I'm not into like expensive shit like that. Like we're going to like cheesecake factories. I don't know. So like maybe I'm not that interesting, but I like to watch people that aren't like so busy worried about the aesthetic of things. And when somebody at this point, well, I was into it for a while, but when somebody at this point is just too into their like just being bougie, and everything is about like name brand stuff and like to be seen in certain places and like, oh, the south of France. I'm like, it's boring at this point to me, honestly. I'd rather watch somebody who has a real life, real kids, real family, if they have that. If not, that's fine too. I kind of like to watch creators before they blow up, because once they blow up, it's a whole nother story. Yeah, like just real people with giving me real fashion advice that I can follow, telling me like what they ate, or like where they went when they were in a place that I go. What did they enjoy? Did they find like a little new store, a little online store or something, like did they find a hidden gem? Like things like that. Those are the things that I'm interested in watching. I'm interested in little like anecdotes from their life, like what happened at work, what happened at this event, etc., etc. So those are the things that I really feel like I'm gravitating towards, and I think that's what I would like this channel to be as well. I think that from now on, so this video is going up, this is Monday when we're talking now. I will have probably one more video for the week, but I think starting next week, we will do a weekly vlog, and that will just be one of the videos. And then, you know, that'll probably go up, I don't know, on like Sundays. And then during the week, I'll have maybe one more video where we sit down and we chit chat the way that we normally do. We talk about bags, or we talk about clothes, or, you know, I give you my lists of things that I like, that I'm watching, etc., etc. I think that's the way we're going to go, because I really want to, I just don't want to be in this space where, while I still love it, again, if people are feeling some kind of way about it, which I sort of am too, I just don't want to be so closed off and so ignorant to what is going on and how people are feeling, that I lose sight of why I'm on here. And honestly, that's another thing that I guess I have to think about. Like, why am I on here? Is it just to meet people and to, you know, find a little community where we talk about one specific thing? Or am I on here to branch out and maybe have this become something? I don't know. But again, I don't want to put myself in a position where it cannot become something because I'm only known for one thing. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Anyway, I know I've been blabbering. I'm going to tell you a few little anecdotes of the week that happened, and then I'm going to show you something good, and then I'm going to go. So first of all, I don't know if you saw my shorts from last week, but I started work. 3 days into work, I have a whole saga. Go look at my shorts. My pants split, had to leave work early. It was ridiculous. Anyway, so if you heard about that, that was a mess, a freaking mess. Then yesterday, was it yesterday? No, Friday. Okay, so today's Sunday right now. Friday, I'm getting out of the shower. This is embarrassing. I'm getting out of the shower. Carol, my puppy, right? If you've been here, you know my Carol. She moved the bath mat. So I got out of the shower and I went to go like grab the bath mat like with my foot. Anyway, ended up slipping, falling, twisting my knee. Oh my God. And I haven't been able to walk for 2 days. Today is like the first day that I feel better. It's still stiff. It still hurts, but it's better. But I had to show up to work, like barely could walk, because I was like, oh my God. I literally had to tell my manager that my pants split and they let me go home for the day. How am I going to tell this lady that my freaking dog moved, like literally tried to kill me, moved the bath mat. So I slipped in the bath, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like old. Like, this is when it all starts going downhill, when you start like falling in the fucking bathroom, right? So anyway, so I ended up like still going, but I had a whole like, I wanted to like film for you guys, show you what I was wearing, all of this stuff, and literally ended up not being able to walk for 2 days. So anyway, anyway, here we are. It is a new week tomorrow. So yeah, I think I'm going to start, all of these vlogs will probably be like a week behind, but I will start with my vlog, and it's just going to literally be around like a work day and what I do besides that, and what I'm eating and what I'm shopping for, and all of the things. So I hope that is, you know, something that you guys are going to be interested in, and something that you will stick around for. And then we can like reassess a little bit down the line and see like, okay, is this good? Is this not? you know, all that stuff. So I know that there's going to probably be a little moment where, you know, the algorithm stuff has to like change in the direction of what I'm putting out, because I honestly don't get, I feel like my vlogs don't get pushed out a lot, but I think that we're just gonna stick with once a week and see how that goes. Anyway, while I was waiting for my daughter, I did two things. Sorry, that's loud. I got a salad from Sweet Green. I'm gonna put it up here, guys. Oh my God, have you ever, I don't know why I'm the last person in the world to ever like try Sweet Green, but it is so freaking good. And now I'm gonna go home now and order all the things that I put in the salad so that I can eat that all week, because oh my God, so good. And then, I don't know if you guys, I never knew about this place before I moved to Florida, but I do know that it's in a bunch of, a bunch of states. So it's called the Salty, and I'm gonna show you. Okay, this is my guava and cheese one. These donuts, sick, so good. I'm planning to go back on I've been off the shot for like 2 months now. I take the tirzepatide, and I've lost like almost 100 pounds. Probably gained a few pounds back in these last 2 months that I have been off of it. But now that I'm back at work, I am going to go back on the shot. It just sometimes gets overwhelming, you know, going back to like all the bills and all that stuff. Just because, you know, and I do want to say this because I feel like just because people see you with nice things, they think that things are easy. And the truth is that, you know, we've had our own businesses for a long time. Sometimes business is up and it's great and I can fill my wrists up, and sometimes business is not good, you know, and since COVID, it has definitely been a little bit of a struggle. So that being said, sometimes even the extra $500 a month, you know, that's, I think, the life of an entrepreneur, and part of the reason why I went back to work, you know, just because, you know, I have to do what I can do to support my family when things are not great, right? Because sometimes they're great and sometimes they're not, and that's just kind of what happens, I think, with entrepreneurship in general, especially in this moment when a lot of the businesses that we have are very specific to, I think, a time that is no longer. You know, they are businesses in places that didn't recover fully. You know, when you're in a place like Miami and everything is busy, or you're downtown Manhattan and everything is busy again, I don't know. I don't think everything is back the same way. And a lot of the businesses that we've been involved with are things that have not really snapped back, you know? And that being said, lots of stuff going on, but sometimes the $500 a month or whatever, it's whatever I can trim off is what I have to do. I got to do what I got to do, right? So now that I'm going back to work, I am definitely getting right back on my shot, because yeah, I need to just finish up and lose probably another 30, and I'll be in, you know, the place that I want to be in. And then I'm going to slowly wean myself off of the shot so that I don't get like, you know, I don't know. We have to figure it out, because when you get off the shot, you do your appetite comes back pretty quickly. So anyway, all that to be said, look at this one, maple bacon donut. Sick. Their donuts are so good. It's called the Salty. I know that's backwards. It's called the Salty. It's freaking amazing. And I'm not gonna eat it all right now, but over the next like 2 days or whatever. So good. But the good, you know, when I am on my shot, I don't even think about them. And I haven't actually had one probably in over a year, maybe since like, maybe even a little longer than that, because I never get there, even though it's pretty close to the house. But anyway, super good. If it's in your area, it is sinful. So, you know, be careful, but try it. It's so good. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. I'm going to go in the house. I am going to go relax. I'm going to go put my knee up and hope that I can walk like a normal person tomorrow. And that's about it, guys. So all in all, please give me your feedback. Let me know, what kind of videos are you watching right now? What are you into? Are you still as into this luxury, you know, just like all of this luxury talk, luxury bags, luxury shoes, like you used to be? Are you finding yourself not going on YouTube as much, or when you do, you're looking for other content that has nothing to do with fashion? Like, I just love to know where your mind is at and what you're thinking. Yeah. And let's jump into this lifestyle, this normal person fashion lifestyle end of this, and see where that goes. I hope you guys enjoy the content going forward, because, you know, each and every one of you have been super supportive, and you know that you like, I really appreciate you guys. Besides that, if anybody who won the Labubus is watching, I twisted my knee. I didn't get them out. They will go out tomorrow to anybody that I have your address. There are still 3 people that I'm waiting on. So 2 people are getting it, going out tomorrow, then 3 people I'm still waiting on. yeah, and I'm gonna give it till the end of this week for the other 3 people to get me their information. And if that doesn't happen, then I'm gonna call backups. So anyway, stay tuned for that. All right, guys, thank you as always for watching. I hope you made it this far. If you did, and you would like to subscribe and you haven't already, I would love it if you would join us for this new, I don't know, this new future, whatever this channel is going to become, whatever we're going to talk about. And yeah. All right. So anyway, yeah, give me some feedback, guys. Tell me what you think, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.